Hello friends, myself lecturer Miss Aditi Anil Kushare, Master of Pharmacy in Quality Assurance Techniques. Today we are going to discuss about the topic environment and health, that is light solid waste disposal from health education and community pharmacy. The topics to be covered are light solid waste disposal, municipal solid waste, that is MSW, commonly known as the trash or the garbage in the United States, and rubbish in Britain is a waste type consisting of everyday items that are discarded by the public. Garbage can also refer specifically to food waste, as in a garbage disposal the two are sometimes collected separately. Although the waste may originate from a number of sources that has nothing to do with a municipality, the traditional role of the municipalities in collecting and managing these kinds of waste have produced the particular etymology municipal composition. The composition of the municipal solid waste varies greatly from municipality to municipality, and it changes significantly with the time. In municipalities which have a well-developed waste recycling system, the waste stream mainly consists of the interactable waste such as the plastic film and the non-recyclable packaging materials. At the start of the 20th century, the majority of the domestic waste, 53% in the UK, United Kingdom, consisted of coal ash from open fires in developed areas without significant recycling activity. It predominantly includes food wastes, market waste, yard wastes, plastic containers and the product packaging material, and other miscellaneous solid waste from residential, commercial, institutional and industrial sources. The most definitions of the municipal solid waste do not include the industrial wastes, agricultural waste, medical waste, radioactive waste or the sewage sludge. Waste collection is performed by the municipality within a given area. The term residual waste relates to waste left from household sources containing materials that have not been separated out or sent for the processing waste. It can be classified in the several ways, but the following list represents a typical classification: biodegradable waste, food and kitchen waste, green waste, paper. Must can be recycled, although the some difficult to compost plant material may be excluded. The recyclable material: paper, cardboard, glass bottles, jars, tin cans, aluminum foil, metals, certain plastics, fabrics, clothes, tires, batteries, etc. Inert waste, that is construction and demolition waste, then dirt, rock, debris, then electrical and the electronic waste, WEEE, electrical appliances, light bulbs, washing machines, TVs, computers, screens, mobiles, phones, alarms, watches, etc. Composite waste, waste clothing, the Tetra Packs waste, plastics such as toys, then hazardous waste, that is including most paints, chemicals, tires, batteries, light bulbs, electrical appliances, fluorescent lamps, aerosol sprays, cans and fertilizers. Toxic waste including pesticides, herbicides and fungicides. Then the biomedical waste, expired pharmaceutical drugs, etc. Then the components of the solid waste management: the bins to collect the paper, aluminum, glass, PET bottles, polyethylene tetracyclic bottles, and the incinerable waste. The municipal solid waste industry has the four components: recycling, compositing, disposal and the waste to energy via the incineration. There is no single approach that can be applied to the environment of all the waste streams. Therefore, the Environmental Protection Agency, United States US federal government agency, developed a hierarchy ranking strategy for the municipal solid waste. The waste management hierarchy is made up of the 4 levels ordered from most preferred to least preferred methods based on their environmental soundness, source reduction and the reuse, recycling or compositing, energy recovery, treatment and the disposal. Then disposal. Today, the disposal of the waste by the land filling or the land spreading is the ultimate fate of all the solid wastes, whether they are residential wastes collected and transported directly to a landfill site, residual materials from the material recovery facilities, that is MRF, residue from the combustion of the solid waste, compost or the other substances from the various solid waste processing facilities. A modern sanitary landfill is not a dump, as it is an engineered facility used for disposing of solid waste on land without creating nuisances or hazards to public health or safety, such as the problems of insects and the contamination of groundwater. The next, disposal of hospital and other medical waste requires the special attention, since this can create major health hazards. This waste generated from the hospitals, healthcare centers, medical laboratories and research centers, such as discarded syringe needles, bandages, swabs, plasters and the other type of the infectious waste, are often disposal with the regular non-infectious waste. Waste treatment and the disposal sites can also create the health hazards for the neighborhood. Improperly operated incineration plants cause air pollution, and improperly managed and designed landfills attract all the types of the insects and rodents that spread disease. Ideally, these sites should be located at a safe distance from all the human settlement. Landfill sites should be well lined and walled to ensure that there is no leakage into the nearby groundwater sources. Recycling too carries the health risk if proper precautions are not taken. Workers working with the waste containing the chemicals and the metals may experience the toxic exposure. Disposal of the healthcare waste require the special attention, since it can create the major health hazards such as the hepatitis B and C, though the wounds caused by the discarded syringes, rag pickers and others who are involved in the scavenging in the waste dumps for items that can be recycled may sustain injuries and come into direct contact with these infectious atoms. Impacts of solid waste on the health. The group at risk from the unscientific disposal of solid waste include the population in areas where there is no proper waste disposal method, especially the preschool children, waste workers and workers in the facilities producing toxic and infectious material. Other high-risk group include the population living close to a waste dam and those whose water supply has become contaminated either due to the waste dumping or the leakage from the landfill sites. Uncollected solid waste also increases the risk of injury and infection. In a particular, organic domestic waste possess a serious threat, since they ferment, the creating conditions favorable to the survival and the growth of the microbial pathogens. Direct handling of the solid waste can result in the various types of the infectious and the chronic diseases, with the waste workers and the rag pickers being the most vulnerable. Exposure to the hazardous waste can affect the human health, children being more vulnerable to these pollutants. In the fact, the direct exposure can lead to the disease through the chemical exposure, as the release of the chemical waste into the environment leads to the chemical poisoning. Many studies have been carried out in the various parts of the world to establish a connection between the health and the hazardous waste. Waste from the agriculture and the industries can also cause the serious health risk. Other than this, co-disposal of the industrial hazards, that is waste with the municipal waste, can expose the people to chemical and radioactive hazards. Uncollected solid waste can also obstruct the storm water runoff, resulting in the forming of the stagnant water bodies that become the breeding ground of the disease. Waste dumped near a water source also causes the contamination of the water body or the groundwater source. Direct dumping of the untreated waste in rivers, seas and the lakes results in the accumulation of the toxic substances in the food chain through the plants and the animals that feed on it. So the environment and health. Light solid waste disposal. The learning outcomes are light solid waste disposal.